Are they beautiful? But these girls have Great Britain's finest manners. On the count of 3, they're going to perform for you an awesome curtsy. Ready, ladies? 1, 2, 3. Aren't they magnificent? Ladies of London. Ladies, when we go back to London, your heart's filled with dreams. But here comes another group of ladies. These ladies have tails. They are the mermaids. And when the mermaids sway their arms and wiggle their tails, they sing a lover's luring song, which can hypnotize any sailor. He'll fall upon his knees and beg the mermaids to marry him. But let's ask this mermaid, what do you say when a sailor asks, will you marry me? Do you say yes or no? She said no. Well, we'll find out what happens later on in our story. Let's give the mermaids a round of applause for their beautiful dancing. Mermaids, you can swim back to your lagoon. But here come the bad guys of our story, the pirates. We don't want to give them a round of applause. Come on here, pirates. Let's give them a great big boo. Pirates, give the audience a ferocious arr. Now, the leader of the pirates is Captain Barnacle. And at the beginning of our story, he called an emergency pirate meeting. He said, quick, lads, gather around. We got some business to discuss. Now, pirates, we've got everything a man could ever want. And the pirate said, arr! We got plenty of gold, seafood, a private island. But what don't we have? Arr! No, we got plenty of arr. We got plenty of money. When we don't have, some ladies, that's right. We don't have any brides. Now, pirates, how do you suppose we find some wives? Well, the pirates started scratching their heads, trying to figure it out. When a blue bottle fell out of the sky and bonked the captain on his head. He said, oh, I've got a plan. We'll write a message in a bottle. Which one of you knows your ABCs? It was this pirate right here, First Mate Peabody. He grabbed the parchment and laid it flat. And the captain said, now listen, Peabody, you gotta write this down. Dear lovely ladies, we are bloodthirsty pirates. No, don't write that. Try this. We're handsome noblemen of good repute, looking for some beautifuls to be our brides. Come join us in our happy lives. We like long walks on the beach and fancy cheese. Sincerely, the wealthy nobleman. When Peabody finished writing the message, rolled it up and stuffed it into the bottle. And then Captain Barnacle gave the bottle to the pirate with the strongest arm. Which one of those pirates? This one right here, strong arm Samantha. She tossed the bottle out to sea, where it landed with a kathunk. Well, the pirates watched it sail away, but suddenly the captain smacked his head. He said, uh-oh, I just remembered we have dishes. Quick, lads, back to the galley. The pirates ran back to their ship and started scrubbing away. But meanwhile, the bottle floated out on the Atlantic for 3 whole months, where it landed at Southend-on-Sea. Early in the morning, these beautiful brides were out picking seashells on the seashore. They found sand dollars, but one of the ladies spotted something blue. She ran over to it and picked it up. She said, girls, come over here, look what I found. The ladies huddled up and they started reading the message. And when they heard that handsome nobleman wanted to marry them, they began jumping for joy. The ladies looked up to the sky and smiled. They said, oh, we must find these handsome noblemen at once. But now it was the ladies' turn to scratch their heads. Wait a minute, how are we going to get to Buccaneer Isle? That's too far to swim. Well, the littlest lady with a pony said, follow me, everyone! Me and my pony know what to do! So they ran after her through the streets of London. They galloped down Kingston Boulevard. They turned right onto Queen Victoria Avenue and left onto Dock Street, where they boarded a gangplank. The ladies stepped up to the ship and knocked upon the cabin doors. And who should step out but the tall, the brave, the enterprising Captain Gallinas. Let's hear it for the captain. Sir, the cape. The captain off his hat and bowed to the ladies. And the ladies curtsied in return. They said, "Excuse us, Captain, but we're wondering, could you take us to Buccaneer Isle?" Well, the captain took the message and scratched his chin. "I don't know, ladies. I'll have to ask my sailors." Oops, I dropped it. "Oh, gentlemen, come on over here. Are we going near Buccaneer Isle?" Well, the sailors took one look at the ladies, and their mouths dropped open. The sailors put their hands over their hearts, for they had fallen madly in love. "Oh, Captain, of course we could take these ladies aboard. You promised us we could go to Florida to play some golf. Why, Buccaneer Isle's just along the way." The captain said, "Well, today is your lucky day, ladies. Follow me aboard." The ladies followed the captain and his crew all the way up to the top deck of the Flying Pegasus. And once they got there, the captain shouted out his orders. He said, "Sailors, hoist the sails." And the sailors began pulling on the ropes. And they started floating away. The ladies waved goodbye and blew kisses to all their friends and loved ones. And everyone waved back, for they never knew if they'd see them again. And the first part of their journey was wonderful. The sun was shining, the waves were sparkling. But on the 15th day, everyone froze. They looked up into the north, and what did they see? But big black clouds on the horizon. And then it happened. A giant storm struck the Flying Pegasus. The ship began rocking back and forth. The waves crashed in on them. Well, the giant waves struck the ship, throwing everyone to the starboard side, and they all screamed. Another wave struck, hurling them to the port side. They screamed even louder. "Quick!" cried the captain, "grab onto the mast." They ran to the center and held on for dear life. It was rocking to and fro, but it was no use. The mast snapped in half, throwing everyone overboard. "Swim!" cried the captain. "Swim for your lives!" They started to do the front stroke. They did the backstroke. The doggy paddle. That little sailor, he just floated. Well, it was no use. They started sinking down to Davy Jones' locker, where they folded their hands and prayed for a miracle. Well, the school of mermaids came swimming by. They said, "Follow us. We'll lead you to safety." Everyone swam after the mermaids with all their might. Faster they paddled, till the water became shallow, and the sailors and ladies collapsed on dry land, coughing and gasping for breath. Well, the mermaids, they started to wiggle back to their lagoon, when all of a sudden, they stopped. They looked down at the beach, and what they saw made them put their hands on their cheeks and gasp. Oh, it's a bit hard to hear a mermaid gasp. Audience, why don't we try helping them? Everyone put their hands on their cheeks, and they all gasped. And the mermaids had just rescued shipwrecked sailors, and that was their specialty. The mermaids started swaying their arms and wiggling their tails, singing a lover's luring song. Well, the sailors were instantly hypnotized. They jumped to their feet. Their arms stuck out in front of them like they were sleepwalking, and their eyes bulged from their sockets. The sailors followed the dancing mermaids all the way back to their lagoon. Except for that sailor, he wasn't sure if he liked mermaids or not. He thinks he likes sword fighting better. Well, as if things couldn't get any worse for our lovely ladies, who was out the next morning? Captain Barnacle with his spyglass. He said, "Oh, good morning, my lads. Let's see what the storm washed up." Well, it looks like we got some driftwood down there. Some lovely ladies, a giant squid. Wait a minute, lovely ladies. Why, our bottle trick worked. There be our brides. Let's go get them, pirates. And the pirate said, "No, no, Captain. We've got a better idea. Why don't we tie the ladies up first? so they get used to us. Oh, well, we are kind of smelly. That's a good idea. So the pirates grabbed their favorite fishing net and snuck all the way down to the beach. And once they got there, they crouched behind a sand dune and prepared to throw the net. But another miracle occurred, because out from the ocean, landing right on top of the girls, flew hundreds of flying fish and a giant squid. Well, this woke the ladies up. The ladies jumped to their feet. They took one look at the pirates and they screamed. The pirates jumped out and they roared. And it was too late for the pirates. They each grabbed the fish, ran over to the ladies, and began bopping them on their heads. I mean, the ladies ran over to the pirates and started bopping them on their heads. There we go. Now, the pirates have been hit by many things, cutlasses and cannonballs, but never had they been flattened by flounder or toppled by tilapia. The pirates dropped their fishing net, and Captain Barnacle cried, "Retreat!" The pirates ran all the way back to their ship, where they were so dizzy, they all fell crashing to the ground. They were knocked out cold. Audience, let's hear it for the brave, lovely ladies. But the ladies were smart, and they remembered that they had to have something to eat for dinner. So they gathered up all the fish and threw them into a pile. And while the ladies were gathering fish on the shore, they realized what great danger they were in. They said, oh dear, our sailors have abandoned us. Where did they go?" Well, the ladies started looking all over for their sailors. They looked out there to the north. They couldn't find them. So the ladies looked over to the south. They looked to the east and to the west. And soon they were spinning around in circles. But no sailors to be found. Except for him. Well, the ladies held their heads close together and were just about ready to cry. But suddenly, they looked up, and what did they see?
The sailors!
But a unicorn. The unicorn spoke to the ladies' hearts, saying, "Ladies, do not despair, for your sailors have not deserted you, but they still need your help, for they have been enchanted by mermaids, and you must use the mermaids' one weakness against them, their vanity. Use your mirrors." And with that, the unicorn vanished. The ladies knew just what to do. They reached into their purses to pull out their mirrors. They held them up into the sunlight, and they ran over to the mermaid's lagoon. In their sweetest voices, the ladies called out, "Yoo-hoo! Mermaids!" Well, the mermaids came out to see who called them, and when they saw their reflections for the first time, they were instantly enchanted by their own beauty. The mermaids snatched the mirrors out of the ladies' hands and began gazing at themselves. Why, they batted their eyelashes, they fluffed up their hair, and pinched their cheeks. And while the mermaids were distracted, the ladies ran over to the sailors. They started clapping in their faces. They said, "Wake up, wake up, wake up! You've been enchanted by mermaids. Quickly, follow us and run for your lives!" They made the mad dash across Buccaneer Isle. And once they got there, they sighed with relief. And they looked over, and who was waking up? A Captain Barnacle and his crew. The pirates jumped to their feet. They wiggled their swords and let out a ferocious "Arr!" Barnacle took 3 giant steps and said, "Cavendish, it looks like you've got my ladies there. I don't know where you are, though. There you are, and I want them back." Well, Cavendish swished his sword. He said, "You're not going to get these ladies back, you scallywag. But here's what you are going to get. Sailors, swords at the ready, slow motion, attack!" And thus began the great slow motion battle of Buccaneer Isle. Why, some of the pirates were moving so slow, they weren't moving at all. These 2 sailors, they called it quits. They said, we're not going to battle today. We don't believe in war." Well, the ladies began cheering for their sailors. The audience cheered for the sailors.
Yeah! Woo!
and the battle could still be going on till today if it wasn't for the mermaids who got tired of looking at themselves. They put the mirrors down, they placed their hands on their hips and